గుడ్ ఈవినింగ్. ఈరోజు నిర్మాణ్ ఆన్లైన్ సెషన్కి వచ్చినటువంటి మీ అందరికీ కూడా స్వాగతం, సుస్వాగతం. ఈరోజు ఒక కొత్త ప్రాజెక్ట్ ద్వారా మీ ముందుకు రాబోతున్నాము. ఈరోజు టాపిక్ వచ్చేసి మేక్ యువర్ ఓన్ టార్చ్. సో ప్రత్యేకంగా మన టార్చ్ లైట్ని ఎలా చేసుకోవాలనేది కిషోర్ గారు మనకి విజ్ఞాన ఆశ్రమం నుంచి మనకి తెలియజేస్తారు. మీరు చక్కగా అన్ని వివరాలు తెలుసుకొని ఈ యొక్క ప్రాజెక్ట్ని మేము ఈ స్కూల్స్లో కూడా పిల్లల చేత చేయించాలని కోరుతున్నాము. Over to you, Kishore, please.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, all the students, all the teachers. So today we will learn about basics of electronics, how to use some basic electronic components and build our own LED torch. So what we are going to do in these Nirman sessions, 1 week we will do some exploring some instrument, some details about that particular instrument. We will learn how to use. In second week, we will learn more about electronics. In third week, we will make some toys using some tinkering. In fourth week, we will learn about some application or software, like for example, Tinkercad or applications to make our own games on computer or mobiles. So every week we'll have something or the other. Since tinkering is related to electronics, tinkering is related to learning about tools and components. Every week we'll use these different areas. So as you all must be aware that on 14th of November across India, the Atal Innovation Mission is going to hold one event for tinkering all across India. So all the schools are going to make some using some electronics, make some DC operated fan. So at the end of this session, we'll know more about that event. We are going to use some components like DC motor, battery, then battery cap, switch, wires, and every school, every group, in every school there are going to be minimum 4 to 5 groups that they are going to make these DC fans. And to make it easy and convenient, Vigyan Ashram along with UNICEF and SCRT, we are also going to make sure that you know more about that event at the end of this session. So before we go to that part of AIM event on 14th of November, for today's session, we learn about creating our own LED torch. So all of us, all our ATL labs have these components in our lab, like LEDs, 9-volt battery, its cap, then switch, and some components that you can buy from a general store, or some of the components you might have in your school, just like some throwaway items that you want to scrap, but you can use them, like for example, PVC pipes and things like that. In today's session, we will learn more about that. I'll share my screen and we will know more about how the LED torch can be made, assembled, soldered and assembled. I'll share my screen, and Sudarshan Garu, you can let me know whether you are able to hear the sound of that application.
Okay.
In today's ATL online session.
Yes.
We are going to learn how to make our own LED torch using some available material in our ATL lab, like 9-volt battery, 10 mm diameter LEDs, then switch, LED cap, the battery cap. We can also make these torch using the PVC pipe that we will see in the later during this session. So let us first see what kind of LED torch that we can make. In this picture, you can see these LED torch. On the picture on the left-hand side is how the assembled LED torch looks like. It also has a push button. It turns on only when you push it. If you release the button, it turns off. So you don't need to worry about that. So this is the list of material and tools needed. You just need a plastic box, a 9-volt battery cap, and you are also going to measure the distance measure the diameter of LED measure the diameter of the push button. So that's why you need a vernier caliper. You need a battery operated drilling machine. You can use the corded drilling machine as well. You need a drill bit. You also need to, you're also going to be soldering the circuit. So let's first start with measuring the LED diameter and mark it. So the LEDs that we are measuring is basically 9 mm. Its diameter is 9 mm, and we accordingly mark on one side of the box, the plastic box. Now we will start drilling for LEDs, two LEDs. So this is how we basically use the 9-volt battery operated drilling machine. Take the 9 mm drill, put it into the drilling machine, keep it ready for drilling. Again, we are showing here how to mark the dots. Now let's drill. So to make a drill, we have used some support inside the plastic box so that it doesn't get cracked. There is some soft foam, or you can put also a wooden block. And since this is a plastic, you don't need to actually put it into the vise. It may get cracked. So you put, this is how you put the two drills for two LEDs. And now this is 6.3 millimeter diameter. As I said, if you just release the button, the torch will be off. So now drilling for the button. You can drill on one side of the box so that you can hold the torch and you can switch it on and off. Likewise, we can see this is 6 mm drill. Again, we are using foam inside. We can put some wood block so that the plastic box. Let's make a circuit diagram. Use Tinkercad for designing your components, designing your parts to be 3D printed. But yes, Tinkercad can also be used in electronics. Let us understand how to create circuit diagram using Tinkercad. So this is a tinkercad.com browser, first page that looks like. Go to this browser, then click on login, personal accounts, go to Google. If you already have account, simply choose whatever account you are going to use on Tinkercad. This will open your Tinkercad account. Click new and go to circuits. It will basically open this window. Take 9-volt battery as first one of your components that is needed for the torch. You can give a name to your battery. Tinkercad also allows you to rotate the components. We have rotated it up, vertically up. Take two LEDs. You can rename LEDs. Choose white LED because we are going to use white LED in our torch. And we are going to use two LEDs. So LED number 2, again, select white LED. And now just place these two LEDs on top of the battery, just like this. And we are going to basically rotate these like what we have shown into the window. Now connect the positive end of LED to the resistor. We have also got a resistor, and we are going to use 220 ohm resistor for this torch. So connect this 220 ohm resistor, and we also are going to use a push button. So add a push button to your circuit, give it a name. Connect the positive end of the battery to the resistor, and again from resistor to the positive terminal of first LED. Connect the negative terminal of first LED to the positive terminal of the second LED. Connect negative terminal to the negative terminal of the battery, negative terminal of the second LED to the negative terminal of the battery using push button. So this is how our circuit is ready. Click on start simulation, and if your value of resistor is correct, if you connected it correctly, your LEDs will turn on. They will glow on. That is how you are going to make sure your circuit is correct. You have chosen the resistor value correctly. You have made the connections, correct. You can. This is how your circuit diagram looks like. We are going to use this circuit diagram to assemble our torch with LED. So let's see how we are going to assemble it, and I'm sure you will enjoy, making this assembly of LED torch. This is how our LED torch looks like after we have assembled. This is just to give you a picture of how our LED torch is going to look like. See, this is a push button, the two LEDs, 10 mm diameter in the front, and battery and other components are inside. Let's look into the assembly, how we have assembled. Basically, take the box, where we have made two drills for LED, insert one LED in the one hole, then take another LED, insert that through the other hole. Make sure that you are going to, connect negative terminal of the leftmost LED to the positive terminal of the rightmost LED. See, this is how he is showing into the picture. Then, connect those two terminals just by twisting those wires. And we are going to do soldering of these two terminals. Make sure your soldering gun is heated and solder those two terminals, the negative terminal of leftmost LED to the positive terminal of the rightmost LED. We are checking if the soldering is done properly so that it doesn't get loosened after certain period of time, and our connection is perfect. So we have checked that. Now take the 220 ohm resistor, apply some soldering wire to the positive terminal of the leftmost LED, where we are going to connect the resistor. Basically, the resistor we are going to connect it to the positive terminal of the first LED. We are soldering it. Make sure the resistor terminal is also soldered properly. If you challenge, accessing the terminals while it is assembled into the box, you can adjust the orientation of the box appropriately. That is okay. Make sure you are following the safety precautions while using the hot soldering gun. Keep it into the stand when you are not using it. Then assemble the button. But before we assemble the button, let us solder the positive terminal of the battery, that is the red wire of the battery, to the resistor. So our battery's positive terminal is now connected to the positive terminal of the leftmost LED through resistor. So this is how we are making the connection. Now let us assemble the button. We have made one hole for the button on one side of the box. Remove the nut of the button. Push the button from inside of the box so that the button comes out of the box. Push it till it gets, correctly, rightly flushed onto the plastic surface. Once it is correctly assembled, you can tighten it using the nut provided on the button. So we are going to tighten the nut. We are going to tighten the button using the nut. So assemble it onto the outer side of the button. Tighten it using fingers. Make sure it is correctly tightened. Now let us solder the negative terminal of the battery to the one terminal of the button. Okay. If it is a little challenging in soldering, you can make the button a little loose or make sure that it is tightened properly. If the two terminals are very close by, you can adjust the soldering wire appropriately. Make sure the terminals are separated and connect the negative terminal of the second LED to one terminal of the button. See, the rightmost LED, the negative terminal of that LED is soldered to one terminal of the button, and the other end of other terminal of the button is connected to the negative terminal of the battery. So that makes the circuit complete. The battery will supply the power only when you push the button on, and the LEDs will turn on. You can keep it, keep the wire properly before soldering. You can take help of your friends, of your teacher, to hold the box properly so that you can solder, comfortably. So this is how you have completed the soldering of the circuit. You can use the double-sided tape to stick the battery inside the box. But if it is not available, simply insert the battery inside the box. Make sure that all the ends are properly insulated. There is no short circuit. You can, turn the wires inside appropriately so that the wires don't look too messy, and you can close the lid of the box. Try switching on just by pressing the button. As you release the button, the battery will turn off. Let's see how it looks like into the dark. And this is good enough for your personal use. You can use it, you can keep it on your desk, study table. If the electricity is off, you can use it for immediate purpose to search your books, search your anything, right? You can keep it handy at your home also. And you can gift it to your family, friends, keep it one at your school so that you can use it. So this is how we can make a beautiful torch using very simple, easily available material in our lab. Now let's see how to make LED torch using PVC pipe. If in case you don't have the box, in case you don't have anything, if you have PVC pipes available with the end caps, the two end caps that you can see, you can make the LED torch using PVC pipes. Just make sure that you use a good size of PVC pipe. This is how the material is needed. Everything is same except the box. Here we are going to use the PVC pipe and the caps. Okay. Now let's see. You can have a 0.5 inch, half-inch diameter PVC pipe. You can measure it up to 15 centimeter long so that it is good enough to hold in your hand, and also you can, by length. Now cut it. Put the pipe into the vise. Use safety gloves, and with your saw you can cut it. Now let's make drill onto the one cap for LED. Not on both caps, just one cap. We will drill. Put it into the vise before you actually drill. Put the cap into the vise. Make sure you are following the safety gloves, wearing safety goggles. Do not do it without that. And you can clamp the job and make a drill properly so that the job doesn't get skid. And you can drill it appropriately. Now let's solder the LED onto the PCB. So that's 3 watt LED, and the below circle is basically its PCB. You can, we will solder it, the positive end of the LED to the positive terminal of PCB, and the negative end of the LED to the negative terminal of PCB. So this is how we will solder the LED. Since this LED positive end and negative end, we will solder onto the PCB carefully. Once we solder these LED onto the PCB, let's solder wires to the LED PCB basically, from where we are going to give the electric supply to the battery. Now let's solder button. Similarly, just like what we have done earlier using the battery, using that small box, simply put one push button in the middle. This is how our assembled battery looks like. Let's see how do we assemble. We have soldered the LED onto the LED PCB. We have soldered wires to the LED PCB. And now, we have also soldered the button through the one wire. Now let's assemble it. Take that pipe, then take this LED PCB that is wired. You can bring that one end of the wire to this hole. You can make one hole on the pipe. The second end is actually basically the battery's negative terminal. So that's wire that is coming from the battery's negative terminal, because we are going to connect one end of the battery positive terminal to the positive terminal of the battery to the positive terminal of the LED, and a negative terminal we are going to connect to the button. That's how we are going to complete the circuit. Take the wires out through the hole, and we can do soldering of the button basically through these wires, so that once we push the button, the electric connection is made on and the battery is switched on. Let's see. Take the push button. Make sure that you follow safety precautions while soldering the button. Solder one end of the button to the one wire, another end of the button to the another wire. So this is how we basically solder the button. We are making sure that we connect it properly. Apply some solder to the button terminals, so that it makes easy when we actually solder it onto the wires. Just apply some soldering material onto the terminals, both the wire and button terminals, so that it gets easily soldered. You don't need to apply too much of soldering metal. If you have already put some soldering metal onto the terminals, before you hold them together and join, so it easily gets melted and it easily gets connected. Just take some help if you are struggling to hold it properly. Take some help of your friend or your teacher, since this is little critical. Small dimension joints, you can take some help of others. That's perfectly fine. Okay. Let's see. Since we have had some challenge, but we made it, solder properly. See, I have taken help of my colleague, my friend, to hold the button, and I am using two hands to make the joint. Once the button is soldered, push it through that hole properly, so that surface of the button sticks onto the surface of the pipe. By the time you are soldering the button, you can keep the hot glue gun on, so that it gets heated. You can apply some hot glue just below the button, surface of the button, and push the button through that hole, so that it gets properly tightened onto the pipe. This is how we are basically assembling the button. You can use hot glue gun. If the hole is too, if that joint is too tight, you don't need to also apply, but better to apply the hot glue gun. Now, apply some hot glue gun onto the or surrounding the LED. Just apply it carefully. Hold your PCB properly within your fingers, so that you don't burn your fingers by the hot glue gun. Take the cap on which you have made a hole for LED. Assemble that LED through that hole. Exactly. See that the LED is seen through that hole right now. Yeah, this is how basically we are applying the hot glue gun and assembling the LED PCB to that hole onto that cap. So once that is cool, get it cooled and cool down. Meanwhile, take the 9-volt battery and put the caps on. Check the terminals and before you make the connection, take the other cap, apply some hot glue gun at the base of the 9-volt battery. Apply it enough so that the battery is uh, hold properly after you are done everything. Take the other cap, the second cap, and just assemble the battery upright so that it stays upright. Allow it also to get cooled down so the battery stays properly. Let both the joints cool down, and once that is done, put the battery cap. Check the cap terminals, put the negative and positive terminals of the cap properly, so that it doesn't get short circuit. Just make sure that you have put everything properly. Now everything is done. Tighten the cap that is having LED. Insert the wires properly. Tighten that cap, and it is just press fit. You don't need to do anything. Just insert these wires on the other end correctly inside the pipe, and insert that cap onto the other end of the torch, the other end of the pipe. You press fit it. Your torch is almost ready. Now let's check working of battery. Since we have done soldering, connections, assembly of the wire. Yeah, our battery, the LED glows. Since this is 3-watt LED, we don't recommend it directly, turning the battery rays into your eyes. This is how our LED torch with PVC pipe looks like. This is easy to handheld, and this is 3-watt power LED, and it is good enough in the dark. You can use it into the farm, school, in your home during when the power is off, electricity is off. And this is the first battery that we did, the torch that we did using 2 10mm LEDs. This is good enough for your also for your home purpose. So thank you for watching, and I'm sure that you will like making these such torch. So I'm sure that you enjoyed watching how to make these torches using LEDs, either using plastic box or PVC pipes and available material. So this is easy to tinker to start with those who are very comfortable with using drills, hot glue gun, then soldering gun, soldering process. Actually, you can easily start doing it, and thereby you can once your confidence goes up in terms of using these tools, we will start developing some of the advanced tools and techniques for creating some of the advanced projects. Now, since we have seen how to tinker, how to make these LED torches, now we will see something related to the AM event on 14th of November. I'll share my screen one more time, and you will be able to see something related to event on 14th. What we are going to do on 14th of November. That is exactly 6 days from now. The event is going to be held all across India. It will start at 10:30 in the morning, and 10:30 to 11 is opening of that event online. 11 o'clock, they will share how to create some project on that day. They will also share the screen. And from 11 onwards, or I think 10:30 onwards, all the students or most of the students in the school will get into the groups and create the DC fan. I'll share my screen and see what are the components needed for that project. Let me, Sudarshan sir, you can tell me whether you are able to see my screen one more time. Can you see the PowerPoint?
Yes, yes.
Okay, can you see it full screen now?
Yes.
Okay, so this is about this another 2-3 slides I'm sharing with regard to the event on 14th. So what we are going to do is we are going to create a DIY handheld DC fan. So what is it for DC fan is basically one school can make 4 groups and one group can create one fan. So likewise, I'm just showing the quantity of items needed for one school. I mean, this is for 4 fans. You can make more than 4 fans, 4 groups, but I'm just suggesting if there are 4 groups per school, what you need to do is what you need to have in your school is basically 6-volt DC DIY toy motor, then 4-blade propeller, that fan blades, then 9-volt battery connector, then mini rocker switch, and Ziploc bag to give it as a kit to your students. So what are those components basically? So this is that 6-volt toy motor. This is battery that this is battery connector. So this is on the right hand side, you see that 4-blade fan propeller. So this is used as a fan blade and a switch. So what you can do is you can connect the battery directly to the fan. You don't need a resistor because this toy motor can take up to 12 volts, and the 9-volt supply from the battery can easily be supplied to the motor. On the motor shaft, you are going to put this fan propeller in between the terminals. You can put on the negative terminal, you can put the switch so that you can switch on and off. So these are basic components that AM has suggested for creating this DC handheld fan. But apart from that, you need something. You need something to hold the motor. You need something to hold the battery. So what we can do is for all the ATL schools in Andhra Pradesh, through SCRT, we will circulate some ideas, 4 to 5 different ideas that you can use. You can use PVC pipe. You can use those electrical connection stripes, that electrical connection tubes, or you can use simply wooden batten, some 6 mm or 5 mm thick plywood sheet you can use, or you can create different things out of the motor. On 14th of November, all across India, they are going to suggest students to make this DC fan. But the event is open on 15th of November and 16th of November for you to do some more innovative projects. You can use DC motor, you can use Arduino, you can use 3D printed parts, you can use some more other tools and components, and you can create many other things. Just for me to share something right now is some ideas I can give you, so that you can think of those and work on. You can create some parachute using this motor. You can use handkerchief and make a parachute. You can create a small drill machine using this DC motor yourself. You can use this fan to create. Use this motor and fan to create few other things. Creative. You can use any other components apart from this also. That is perfectly fine. On 17th of November, you will get, every school will get a Google form, and in that Google form, you can upload the photos, the videos of the projects of the event of your school on that Google form, and AM is going to give reward for the selected few high quality, highly innovative, creative projects. So before that event on 14th, we will share those 5-6 different ideas apart from what you can make, what you can make apart from the DC fan. So that, and you can definitely build on those ideas. 5-6 ideas will be not sufficient. I am sure that all the schools in Andhra Pradesh, if they come together on this event and they work on different ideas, new creative ideas, I believe they would be able to do more than 100 unique projects. They are creative enough, and they are innovative point of view. They are highly. Now I'm going to just share how this event is going to be conducted in the school. This link is there with most of the schools, but I'm just sharing it 2 minutes video And I'm also going to share this link through WhatsApp if you don't have it already. And I'm going to also share this PPT to you. So this is how you are going to, make that event successful. And I'm sure all the schools, all the ATL schools in Andhra Pradesh will participate 100% with a lot of enthusiasm on 15th and 16th of November. All different ideas, innovative ideas, apart from this fan. And all the best. We are also going to share this PPT, this video to you through WhatsApp, and some more ideas in next 3 to 4 days before you actually participate into the event. So thank you very much for your participation. If there are a few questions, I'm going to take those on YouTube. You can let us know anything specifically, any question. I'm just looking into the YouTube channel right now. The questions will also be answered after this session. So you don't need to worry about in case you don't get to see the answers right now. You can let us know anything. Okay. So I'll wait for 2-3 minutes if there are any questions, or else we are also going to schedule if there are any questions to help you out with the event on 14th. We are also going to have one more online session similar to this on Friday if there are some questions. Now, please let us know SCRT in case you need more help on 14th.
Preparation of LED Tourch. I also very much fascinated about your presentation and all. I really hope all the ATL teachers will utilize this resource videos, and I request all the ATL teachers to use these videos and display before the students and make them to aware of this and let them do it on hands-on experience. And one more request is with you all that please participate on the 14th November occasion. It is across India. AM is going to organize this one. So all entire AP we have to participate, all the ATLs, and we have to get more good rewards from all our ATLs. This is from our side. As Kishore said that if you require any kind of support for this 14th AM meet, so we will definitely help, and we will organize more sessions also online. Mr. Kishore from Vigyan Ashram also, UNICEF side and Diksha team side also, we are very much helpful to you that one. We please keep up knowing that one, what kind of support you require. As Kishore said that one, we will display these two videos, this presentation and also the AM this thing will post in your groups, and please utilize these resources. Thank you very much, Dr. Ismail sir and Dr. Kishore ji from Vigyan Ashram for making this session as a great success.